over these last couple months, maybe even up to a year now, my makeup style just overall and even my eye makeup has become a lot more softer, a lot more neutral toned. So when Urban Decay announced this new naked shaped palette, I was actually pretty excited for it. So while this palette might look kind of boring to some people, if I'm being realistic with myself, like these are the shades that I grab for when I want to wear makeup. I just don't grab for colorful shadows anymore. When I am doing my eye makeup, I want neutral browns. Perfect. I just received this palette in PR yesterday and I wanted to film with it right away because like I said, I was excited about this launch. So I want to do a first impression, do some swatches, and try it out today with you guys on camera. I also have the new reformulated all-nighter setting spray, so I want to try this out today as well. So we're doing a little Urban Decay day today. I did want to mention really quick that I am filming on a brand new camera today. This is my first time ever filming with it, so if things look a little off, if things sound a little off, that is definitely why, so just work with me here. It definitely takes a few videos to get down the new settings and everything. I want to start with some swatches of this palette because I really want to see what I'm working with here because I believe there's 4 different formulas. So the shades in the center right here are all creams, then we have matte shadows out here, then we have some shimmers, this is another matte, and then I think they called this a glimmer shade. And then there are 2 variations of this palette. I have the cool tone one, but there is also the warm tone one. Out of the 2, I would pick this one, so I'm happy that I got this one in PR. The idea behind this palette is that you're supposed to be able to use it as a multitasking palette for your eyes and your face. So for example, these cream shades right here, you can use on other areas of your face, not just your eyes. I could see myself trying this shade for a contour, maybe this shade for brightening up or just kind of like cleaning up the edges of an eye look. But then definitely these 2 darker shades for like a smoky, smudgy liner look. I think some people could use these shades on their brows. So they're marketing it as not just an eyeshadow palette, it's a little bit more than that. But let's start with some swatches. I'm actually going to start with the cream shades because I really want to see what these feel like. Okay, they do feel pretty creamy. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's see what we're working with here. They don't seem that opaque to me. Like, ooh, there's the black and then the dark brown. Like, are these the most pigmented, creamiest things in the world? No. And then I'm gonna go outwards and swatch these 4 matte shades. Gotta be honest, I've never been a big fan of when palettes just have different shaped eyeshadow pans in there. I just think it's kind of annoying and frustrating. Like, just give me a palette with everything the same size. Okay, let's see how these matte shades look. Oh, it's a nice kind of beigey color. Ooh, that looked really good. Okay. Okay, actually very impressed with how those matte shades swatched, especially like this brown. That looked really, really smooth. Then I'm gonna move over to these 3 shades. Ooh, that's really pretty. Oh, that's a really deep shimmer. And then this matte shade. I'm excited about this matte shade because it has a little bit of rosiness to it. Like compared to this matte brown, this leans more like a true neutral. This has, I don't know, a little bit of rose and I like that. And then last 3 shades I'm gonna swatch are these 3. This glimmer shade, it feels really nice actually. And then let me try to get these 2. Here is that glimmer shade. Ooh, that's actually really nice. Oh, I can see that as a face highlighter, eye highlighter, little eye topper. I like that. And then this shimmer and this one. This shade right here, it's kind of hard to see on camera, but I actually like it in person. It kind of reminds me of a mixture of Sin and Toasted from the original Naked palette, like mixed together. I think that's really pretty. So there's a palette swatched out. Yes, it is a neutral brown cool tone leaning palette, but I'm excited to try it out. I was really impressed with how the matte shades looked in swatch. The shimmers look pretty decent. I'm excited to test out this glimmer shade. The cream shades I definitely won't be using on my eyes today, but I will have to try them on my face sometime in the future. Let's do an eye look, but unfortunately, again, because this is a new camera, I don't have my lens that zooms in super duper close, so this is as close as I can get. I know, I'm so disappointed. This is like the farthest makeup tutorial I've ever done in my life. But as always, I'm gonna do my best to walk you through exactly what I'm doing. And for my brushes today, of course, I'm gonna be using my Sigma eye brush set that I created and designed. So I'm taking my fluffy blending brush in this matte shade Cold Foam, and I'm gonna run that throughout my entire crease. Now I didn't show this on camera, but clearly I have all of my base makeup done and I did already prime my eyes. And for that, I just used the Rare Beauty eyeshadow primer. That one is my favorite, or you could totally use like the Urban Decay one for this. The primer potion is really, really nice. Picking up a little bit more, just building that up in the crease. I do really like the undertone of this shade, as I kind of expected while I was swatching it. It just has the prettiest amount of like a rosy warmth to it. Like honestly, this shade looks exactly like the type of colors that I like to put in my crease. Just on those days where I don't want to do a whole makeup look, I just want to throw something in my eyes. This honestly reminds me a lot of my bronzer color too. Like, I'm very happy with this shade. Next, I'm going to take this matte shade Bone Chill and just kind of use that around the edges of the first brown shade. I love when a palette has a shade like this in it, this kind of light vanilla color, just because I use this so much to blend around the edges of my shadow and just really soften everything out. Now I'm going to switch to my shader brush, and I have more of that cold foam shade on the tip of it. And I'm going to run that across my entire lower lash line. This really is like the perfect just shadowing shade for me. Like, I love this before and after. And I've only used really one shade. I'm picking up some more of that brown shade and just kind of adding it to the very outer part of my eye, and I'm just dragging it out a little bit. Same shader brush, I'm going to take this matte brown shade, I believe it is called Nippy, and I'm going to place that on the outer part of my lower lash line and kind of do the same thing where I'm just going to drag it outwards. Just taking whatever's left on my brush on this very, very outer corner of my eye. Almost as if I was making a very, very thick kind of wing with this shadow. So far, I am super happy with the undertones and the shades of this palette. I feel like these shades really do kind of shadow and contour my eyes, which is what like the palette was kind of going for. I think these shadows look really nice and soft, but I gotta say, I don't think they're super pigmented. Like, are these the best, creamiest matte shadows I have ever used? No. But I would say they're very beginner-friendly shadows. They aren't tricky to work with at all. I'm gonna take this shimmer shade right here called Ice Drip. I just want to tap that on the very center of my lid. This is the shade that I said looks like a mixture of Sin and Toasted together. Ooh, I do like how that brightened up the lid, and then I always like to go back to my fluffy brush and just kind of soften around the edges of that. I just have to try this glimmer shade, so I'm going to take it on my small detail brush, pop that in my inner corner. So this shade is more of that kind of sheer toppery kind of formula. It's not like a shimmer that has like a base to it, so it's not popping a lot, but it definitely gives a little bit of something right in there. Honestly, I think it'd be better if you just tap it on your lid, so I just have a tiny bit on my finger. Just want to add that on top. It's more just to add a little bit of sparkle. I'm going to add a nude liner in my waterline. This one's by Essence. I'm gonna pop on some mascara, then I'll show you this eye all done. Guys, I hate that I can't get super close to the camera. Like, I can do this, but this is just a weird view. I wanted to show you just what one eye looks like completely done. I just popped on mascara, no lashes. I'm wearing the Lancome Lash Idol Flutter Extension Mascara. This one's newer to me, but I really have been liking it. What I like about it is that it has a pretty small wand here, so I find that I really can just like grab every single lash to my bottom lashes. Not bad. I went ahead and got the other eye caught up, and here is how everything is looking. I'm just gonna go ahead and link all of the other products that are on my face today down below. My blush, my lip, my foundation, my powder. Like, I got a good little beat going on today. But let's try out the new All Nighter Setting Spray. So this is a reformulated version of their iconic setting spray that has been out for so many years. I actually just pulled out a bottle right here that's unopened. So this is the original formula. This is the new one. Now there is a little bit of like tea and drama going on with this reformulation, and my friend Jen did a fantastic job of explaining it. So I'm gonna link her video down below for you. She does an amazing like makeup news channel. I love it so much. I just want to read the claims off the box because I believe they should be pretty much the same, right? So they're both the all-nighter setting spray. Let's start with a newer one here. Up to 24-hour wear, waterproof, smudge-proof, transfer-resistant, all-day hydration, and this is the natural finish one. There are 3 different finishes. For the original formula, it says up to 16-hour wear, so this one claims 24, but who's wearing their makeup for 24 hours? Not me. Temperature control technology, lightweight. That's all that this box says. Interesting. Another claim they made is that the mister is supposed to be better on this one as well. So what I'm kind of thinking is doing a side-by-side. Do one side with this all-nighter, this side with this all-nighter, and just kind of see how they compare. Okay, here we go. Side-by-side of the packaging. Really same exact size, same matte black. Like, it looks like the same product, you know? This is the new bottle. That does look pretty fine. Okay. And then this is the old bottle. Yeah, see this one's, it's a little squirty. It's always been, she's been a squirter. Cover my face, and we're gonna do a new all-nighter on this side. The mister does feel good on that. I'm gonna be so honest. Honestly, I'm not really expecting to see much of a difference at the end of the day, and as always, this is like really just my first impression. Okay, and then old formula on this side. They kind of felt the same though, but that one just has like heavier droplets, I guess. But there shouldn't really be any visible difference right away because they both just have that natural finish. One's not matte, one's not more glowy than the other. I mean, obviously it's hard to give a first impression of a setting spray right away, but I'm definitely going to be testing this one out for the next couple weeks or so just because I am such a huge fan of All Nighter. Like, I know how this product works, so I gotta see how this one compares. So I'll definitely keep you guys updated on this newer formula. It is currently at 3:40 in the afternoon. I will try my best to do a wear test at least a couple hours. I will check back in pretty soon. I've said this before, I'll say it again. I can never do super long wear tests because I just want to take my makeup off at night. So it is currently 8:12. How long was that? 4 hours? I haven't really looked at my makeup close up yet, and honestly I haven't really done much today. I was kind of just like doing chores and editing today really. And like I said earlier, I don't really expect to see a huge difference side by side because like it's still the All Nighter setting spray, right? Like I really don't think they would reformulate it to be completely different than the original formula, you know? But looking at everything close up, I feel like my skin looks the same on both sides, like the amount of blush that is left, the amount of glow that I have with like my natural oils coming through. So it's kind of hard to see a difference in a side-by-side comparison like that, but like I said, I'll keep trying out the new formula on its own for a couple weeks or so. And then a quick look at the eyeshadow. I'm super happy with how it looks. All the colors are still there. I'm not seeing any creasing. So a 4 to 5 hour wear, super happy with that. But that is going to wrap up today's video. I had a lot of fun playing with this new Urban Decay palette. I would love to know your thoughts and opinions on it. Do you think it's boring? I think it's boring, but I kind of love it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.